Hey there viewers, welcome back to the Groundhog's Garage channel. I have a tale of two starters for you today. They're both Powermaster starters, and I had trouble with both of them. So let's start with this one. This I bought for a 1992 Chevy Tahoe Blazer, full size, two-door, way back in the day. The truck probably had about 180, 190,000 miles on it. The original starter went out. I didn't want to mess with it again, so I bought what I thought was probably, and I think is perceived as the best in the industry, or among the best in the industry as far as starters go. Got a high torque Powermaster XS starter, and put it in my truck, and from the get-go it didn't sound right. It kind of whined like I'm doing right now, but it didn't last a year, and I sent it to Powermaster and they rebuilt it and sent it back to me. So customer service, a thumbs up. But while it was rebuilt, I just slapped in another cheap one, and it lasted until I got rid of the truck at 250,000 miles. So that's why I still have it. That truck's probably been gone for 15 or 18 years. I've had plenty of GM type vehicles in the meantime, but I've never had to put another starter in one of them. So if you look at some of my other videos, I'll put some links and maybe in the box somewhere. I'm working on a 74 Pontiac Grand Am. So, you know, cars 50 years old, 45 years old, something like that. It's hard to do the math on the run here. So, but starter went out, solenoid was toast, you know, rusty, cruddy. I had to use my side cut wheel to get the stupid thing out because the bolts weren't coming off. It was a mess. So I debated whether to rebuild it, maybe buy an AC Delco rebuilt one. I thought, no, you know what? I'll spend the money. I don't want to climb under there again, and I only want to do it once. And so I bought this starter. There it is. It's this one here. Well, no, it's not it either. Came in this box, but it looks like the old, you know, factory style starter, high torque, all that good stuff. Came with a dyno sheet, show you how much torque it has and all that kind of stuff. Hey, good. Put it in, worked great for about a week. I probably haven't put 200 miles on my car since it's been in there, because it's still not licensed, because I don't trust it enough to get to the DMV so they can look at the serial number to give me my title. So, you know, I've been driving around the neighborhood. Something goes wrong, I fix it. So, about maybe 2 weeks ago, I hit the key, and you saw it at the beginning of the movie, of the video. Yeah, the gear wasn't engaging, wasn't pulling in. Now, it's 140 bucks. You know, it's not cheap, not the most expensive starter they sell, but at least in the factory type, it's the most expensive one they sell, except unless you wanted a chrome one. So, am I frustrated? A little bit. You know, replacing the starter isn't the hardest thing to do, but I only wanted to do it once. And, you know, you got to drop the exhaust pipe and, you know, everything else that goes with it. And initially I had to, you know, put new studs in it, so that's done. So most of it's going to come apart pretty easy, but that's why I spent 140 bucks, so I wouldn't have to do it twice. And here's the other thing that really struck me. I bought two starters over roughly a 20-year period, both of them Powermaster, and both of them failed. This one within a year, this one literally within a month, with under maybe 100 miles. So either I'm the unluckiest guy there ever was, because my God, if I could win the lottery with those kind of odds, I'd be one happy man. But I gotta believe Powermaster has sold thousands, if not millions, of starters and alternators and everything else that they make in the 20 years between the time I bought 2 starters, and I managed to get 2 that were defective, for lack of a better term. So I can't help but be struck by the irony. I'd be interested to hear what your experiences have been with Powermaster. You know, I got them at Summit Racing, and like, you know, I made in the USA even, and but there aren't many moving parts in a factory starter. What you got, the motor, the solenoid, you got the Bendix. You know, it's like, how hard can it be to build a solenoid that is strong enough, or their linkage is smooth enough to let the gear go into the flywheel? Perfect fit. I didn't have to shim it. Nice spacing between the gear and the flywheel. All good, except it doesn't work. So it was funny when I got this. There was a big sheet of paper in there. Make sure your connections are right. Make sure you got fresh cables, this and that and the other thing. And you saw from the beginning of the video, it did. It worked flawlessly. But on the top here, well, actually, it came with the dyno sheet, and it also came with this thing that says, you know, that really implying that if it doesn't work, it's probably your fault because you didn't install it right, or you got shitty connections. But I'll go through the process here. We've got a tech assistance number, and I'll call them tomorrow, and I know they'll handle it like they should. But it's just my general experience. And like I said, 2 starters over a 20-year period, and both of them failed within not a month to a year. So, like I said, leave some comments. I'd be interested to hear your experiences. You know, Summit Racing has 4 or 5 reviews on there, and you know, one guy complained it didn't fit right. The other 4 seemed fairly happy. So, and honestly, when it works great. You know, it doesn't struggle at all. So, I guess I'm climbing back under my car. So, I'll let you know how it goes in a follow-up video. But the videos in this car are kind of all over the place just because of, you know, everything I went through. You know, since I started with the starter, and I pulled the front suspension all off and all that kind of stuff. So everything's rebuilt. The car's back up. I'm driving it. I'm kind of like to get it to a point I can drive it far enough to go get the license for it, get some tires and some things like that. But it rides nice, so when it's running and I can get it started. But anyway, you know, if you want to see the follow-up, subscribe, like the video, and turn on your notifications, and you'll find out when I put the new starter in, which will probably be tomorrow, which will be Monday. But anyway, just thought I'd share this with you. Alright, get out and wrench on your cars a little bit today. It's a beautiful day, at least here in Northeast Ohio. Have a good one. One more note before I go. It was funny, I was watching, if you're watching car videos, you may or may not have stumbled across the Goon Squad videos, and they're rebuilding a police pursuit vehicle. Like right now, it's a 2018 Dodge Charger, I believe, and they put an aftermarket bumper on it. And if you've watched any of their videos, you know they're like OEM or almost OEM, or trying to keep it as close to OEM as possible. And they bought this aftermarket bumper, and they were talking about how poor the fit was, and one of them, you know, exclaims, "Aftermarket sucks." And I just thought it was extremely ironic that they mentioned that on the day where I'm dealing with an aftermarket starter. And again, it just gets back to reliability and you know, quality control. And yeah, I get it, they tested it, it had the dyno sheet and everything, but my gosh, what are the odds of this happening? 2 bad starters, 20-year period. Like I said, I should go play the lottery this week. I'd be sure to lose. Alright, just wanted to throw that in. Welcome back to the continuing saga of my Powermaster starter. Huh? Still nothing. So, today is October 17th, 2019. And when we last talked, it was Sunday, which I think was the 13th. I waited till Monday to call Powermaster because their box says right here, and let's see if you can read that. But basically it says, call our tech department before you take the starter back to the retailer. So here's the receipt from Summit Racing. And there you go. Bought it September 5th. So I called them on the 14th and talked to them. Well, you know, you call their tech line and they're busy. And the operator said, well, it's going to be at least an hour. Can I take your name and phone number? Yeah, okay. It took 2 hours, but, you know, I worked in customer service. I know what happened. So no big deal there. But I tell the guy the situation. I bought the starter 6 weeks ago. I mean, I put 100 miles on this car since I brought it home in March, April, because of reliability issues, let's say. So I get this starter, and it took me 2 weeks to get it put in because I had the suspension tore apart, and you guys saw those videos if you looked at the other ones. And so if I've started it 10 times, I'd be surprised in the time I've had the new starter in. And you've heard it. The Bendix isn't working. So I'm talking to this guy and he says, well, did you take it out and bench test it? And I'm thinking, I spent $140 on this starter. I've used it a half a dozen times and you're asking me if I bench tested the damn thing? If I take it out, I'm taking it back to Summit Racing and replacing it. So I'm hoping there's just some shmoo in there holding the Bendix back, not letting it spin out, because when it warmed up, when I had it running the other day, I managed to get it going, and after the engine had gotten warm and probably warmed the starter, you know, I tried it a couple times and it caught every time. So I'm going to climb under the car today. I have to replace some power steering hoses that I got yesterday. And I got to take the tire off, and so I can get in the side there and all that kind of stuff. But since I'm going to be under the car, I'm got a trusty iPhone. I'm going to take a video of it engaging after I take the transmission cover off, so we can see what's happening. And hopefully, like I said, I can just reach up in there and clean the threads or something that's not letting the Bendix spin. So. But we'll get a video of it and get a clearer idea of what's happening. Alright, so let's get this project started. So I got the starter out, and it just looks like the Bendix isn't coming out. The motor fires and Bendix shoots out about halfway, and then it goes back in. So, since I got it out, I got my little jumper pack here. I'll show you what's going on. Kind of odd, but no, what are you going to do? Alright, you ready? I think you can see that. Actually, let's do it this way, so you get the side view. Happens fast, so watch. So, motor, I do feel a little vibration in the motor, so maybe the motor's bad. It's not spinning as fast as it should, but definitely not working. So I'm going to go back up to Summit Racing and see if they'll swap it out, and if not, I guess I'll call Powermaster back and we'll go from there. So I just come out of Summit Racing, and they swapped it out for me. So I just want to give a huge shout out to Summit Racing. I've dealt with them and shopped here for years. These people are great, very polite, professional, helpful, and you know, always treated me well. So Anyway, I've got the new starter. Gonna head home, slap it in hopefully before the rain comes, and let's hope the second verse is better than the first one. So when I get home, we'll get this thing fired up. Like the hat, it's a little chilly today. So got the exchange starter in, and let's give this a go and see what happens. Inaugural start. Hopefully it's better than the last one. Crazy. So I had to drop the exhaust pipe to put the starter in, so I'm going to put that back together, and well, I guess we'll call this a video. So I don't know, like I said earlier in the video, sharing my Powermaster experiences and buying two starters 20 years apart and having troubles with both of them. First one within a year, second one within a month. So hopefully this time this one lasts a little bit longer. And again, summer racing was great, and you know, I talked to the guy at the tech service at Powermaster, and you know, he offered what he could, but definitely you saw the video that the Bendix wasn't coming out, and for whatever reason, Powermaster, if you're watching this, your starter's coming from the Talmadge store, and that's for a '74 Pontiac. 3655 is the model. So that's it. If you like the video, link, share, subscribe. I need subscribers. Nobody's watching my videos. But hey, more coming. So look forward to having you come back and watching some of my other videos. All right. Have a good day. Bye-bye.